Hey guys, what's up? My name's Adam. A lot of you guys saw my sped up video that I posted on some of the Santa Facebook groups a couple of weeks ago and have asked for tutorials of how I do different things. So I thought I'd talk you through my whole process. It takes me usually about 15 minutes or so to get completely bearded up and ready to go. I always start with my shirt and pants and suspenders and everything before I do my beard. And then I put my coat and belt and hat on afterwards, hat obviously. But this, it's easier to get this all buttoned up and everything before I have the beard hanging down and over my chest and stuff. So I use a ZM hair beard and wig and mustache that I got from Maggie. It is a Y23, I believe, but I've washed it and restyled it several times since I got it, so it's not quite styled the same way as what they come. They got a real tight spiral curl on them, and mine has a more loose, kind of wavier texture to it. So, and then I've had my wig cut and styled by a stylist who deals in wigs and stuff. So thought I'd do that. I've got all the lace trimmed up pretty close to the edges. I've got a couple spots where I've actually had to, because didn't quite fit my face right and I would have big wrinkles, so I would cut like a little V out different places, and that's not really visible. It's a little bit more visible if you don't use the crepe hair, but if you do the overlay with the crepe, not too visible. So I use crepe hair as my overlay, which is this stuff. A lot of times you can see it at Halloween time at the different Halloween stores. I got it off of Amazon. It's just called crepe wool or crepe hair, and it is actually, if I'm not mistaken, wool fibers, so sheep hair, you know, fibers that are bundled together and then wound in this rope. I cut off just, you know, that much, so stretched out it's a couple inches, but it's got a real tight wave to it. Some guys do this with extra yak hair that they've got, where they bought like a weft of yak hair or just what they've cut off of the wigs. That's perfectly fine to do as well. Process is a little bit different for that, so maybe sometime I will get some of that and make another video, because I do know how to do that as well. But it's a little bit more of a detailed process than what this is. This is pretty quick and dirty, but it looks really good when it's all done. So first step is to clean your face off. I use Walker Super Matte, I believe is what it's called. It's the matte, I think it's Super Matte toupee tape for my all my stuff. This stuff is meant to hold a hairpiece, like a men's hairpiece, on for 2 to 4 weeks. We usually use it 2 to 4 hours at a time, you know, or maybe 8 hours on a long Saturday or 12. But I mean, this stuff is meant to hold a toupee on through wind, snow, rain, sweat, all that stuff. So as long as you apply it right, it should work for you. It doesn't like greasy or oily surfaces, so you got to make sure that you clean your skin really well. To clean, and even for cleanup, I posted a cleanup video a week or two ago. But to clean my face, and before and afterwards, I just use these alcohol swabs. These are just from Sam's Club, but you can get them anywhere. And they're just like you would use to give yourself insulin shot, or you know, clean up whatever, clean up Sharpie. Take some from your doctor's office next time you're in there, or whatever. But it is just I think it's 70% alcohol. You can use just regular rubbing alcohol and a cotton ball, or a you know, makeup thing, or a paper towel, or whatever. Just alcohol is the main thing that you want to use. So I always start off by taking one of these guys, start with the beard, and then I do the wig, and I do the mustache last after I do the hair overlay. So take your thing, and I just go through here and just wipe all this down. I usually like to start with a little bit of stubble. I'll shave in the morning usually. If I'm doing multiple days, I'll shave every other day, because if you start shaving every day, it'll dry your skin out real quick with all of this stuff. So every other day. So mine, I shaved yesterday, did not shave this morning, so I've got a couple days worth of stubble. That's fine, it's gonna hide behind the hair and everything, not be an issue. And actually the tape is gonna stick a little bit better to some stubble there than if it was perfectly clean shaven anyways. So take that, let it dry for a second. Now this is the roll. You want to get a good pair of scissors, and your scissors will get gummed up. You'll have to clean them off with alcohol every now and then because the tape does like to stick to those. So I like to take a piece about that long, that is probably 4 inches or so. Cut it off. And so this tape is a double-sided tape. It's got a wax paper strip on one side of it. Some guys will say peel up a little piece before you put it down. I bite my nails like crazy. It's easier for me to put it down as long as you use the alcohol and your face isn't real dirty or greasy or anything. You should be able to get it on there. And so I go from my tip of my sideburn down to there. So like that. So I do 3 pieces for the edge of my beard. So I do another one about that same length. And this one goes from the tip of this sideburn down to there. Okay. And then I go look at this gap here and then go just maybe a little bit shorter than that gap. Okay, this is gonna feel really stiff and kind of itchy maybe a little bit while you've got it like this. Once you peel that tape off, it's super soft and flexible though. So next step is very important. A lot of guys don't do this. It's called burnishing. If you guys have ever done any type of transfer, like vinyl transfer or decals work or anything like that, you have to burnish the decal once you put it onto the surface. Same thing here. So I usually just use the handle of my scissors. And obviously your cheek is soft, so it's not going to be a hard burnish like you would normally get, but that will help some at least. Alright. Now with any luck, as long as you burnished well and cleaned well, it should peel right off like that. Sometimes you'll get one where the edge is not stuck down quite so well and it doesn't peel off as well. And usually that's down here if I have that issue. But if you sit there and pick at it for a second, you'll get it. So that's 3 pieces of tape there. Now, a couple guys on the sped up video that I did commented that they never use this much tape, and you know, that's a waste of tape. If I'm out for several hours at a time, you know, if I'm just doing one 15 or 20 minute visit, you know, that's probably plenty. But if I'm out several hours at a time, I don't want to take any risks, so I always do my chin as well. This is my biggest problem area of it coming unstuck because just from my mouth moving constantly. So I always do extra. And so I'll take 3 pieces that are about that long or so, probably 3 inches or so, and just put it down that way. And you can overlap the edges a little bit there. Those edges. If you start your peel on the edges where it's overlapping the already stuck tape, it should be super easy because the edges are already stuck down. So that's all that. So I've got 6 pieces of tape. I've got 2 here, 1 across, and 3 on my chin. So take your beard, and this is the hard part, to do this without getting it all over the place. And my beard needs washed and styled, so it's got some extra loose kind of stray hairs that I may trim off here in a second once I get it up there. I see one that I'm going to have to because it'll get in the way. Alright, so this is the beard, and I've got some spirit gum where I did get a little bit extra on there the other day. So. Alright, so take your chin cup and kind of pull it down. And don't push anything down until you have it where you want it. So take this and kind of get it lined up where you want it on the edges. And as long as you don't push down on anything, it'll stay kind of tacky and movable. And then once you push down, it'll be a pretty permanent bond. And then last, you pull your chin cup up to where it needs to be. Now, to push it down, you can use your fingers, but then your fingers get all sticky and stuff. I like to use just a sponge. And the sponge kind of evens out the force that's applied. If you're talking while you're doing it, you'll have to adjust the parts on your mouth right before you push it down. Alright, so that's good to go. Now you can see if you've got lace edges, sometimes you can, if you're at a distance, you're probably fine like this. I like to put that overlay because it hides the lace. Alright, so next I'm going to do the wig. Get another one of these guys out here. And get your hair up off of the front. Just kind of wipe over the side. Now, if you're using this much alcohol every day of the season and wiping any spirit gum off with alcohol and the like, you will definitely want to get a good lotion because the alcohol does dry your skin pretty good there. So just to keep from getting itchy, you want to get some lotion. Alright, so I cut a piece about like that, stick it right in the middle of my forehead. Just, I've got a fairly high hairline, so just right there. And forehead's an easy one to burnish. Now I always end up with 2 or 3 hairs in my tape, and it hurts whenever I take it off, but it's gonna fall out anyways, I figure, so it's not the end of the world. Now I take 2 small pieces that are probably 1 inch or just over, put them on my temples, and these do overlap hair. When you're taking this off, if you want to spray it down with some rubbing alcohol or something, you can. I just peel all my tape off. Okay. So burnish those down. Now, don't peel these off yet. Go ahead and peel the top piece off. Okay, you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got a hair under my tape, but it's not a big deal. It hides itself all right. Now you want to adjust your wig, get the hooks in the right loops and all that stuff on the back. Put that down that way. Over the edge there. I'm going to push that guy down just like we normally would. Make sure any hair is out of the way. down where it needs to be. Pull your sides down where you want them. Pull one side off. You want to apply some tension so that you don't get any wrinkles in your stuff up here. Okay, and this guy here. All right, so we're good there. I generally don't go too crazy on being nitpicky up here. Just because I'm gonna have my hat on. I hardly ever go without my hat on, except for virtual visits, which I'm doing tonight, so I'm a little bit pickier. But also the camera on Zoom is kind of grainy a little bit anyways, so you can't really make it out too bad. And honestly, this would probably be okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the other stuff on just because. All right, so next you take this. So you've got, I just cut a piece of this off, and a piece like this is gonna last you probably 6 or 7 visits, or 6 or 7 times, because you're just literally gonna pull off that much hair, okay? I don't know if you can see how little that is. Now I use this super matte. This is the super matte. The beard tape is Walker No Shine. So this is WM Creation Super Matte Spirit Gum, Dutch, from the Santa Underground group. I believe posted about this one time, and so I found some and bought it. It's very hard to find online. I don't know if it's from a different country or it says North Hollywood, California, so I don't know. But the best spirit gum I found, anything that's like Maron or Ben Nye or any of those, I have trouble with those getting like crystallized and crumbly and stuff. So this stuff is really good. It's expensive though. So I just take a normal paintbrush, cheap paintbrush. You don't want to use your good paintbrush for this. And I do 3 sections on this. So I try not to touch my lace with this. I just try to put it on my face just above my lace. Okay, so you put it on there. You're going to take this and you're just going to kind of spread this apart. Now if you've got a curly, like super tight curly crepe hair like this, you can just lay it on sideways like that. So stretch it out into a string, just kind of lay it on sideways, pull yourself another piece off. You don't want it to get clumped up, you want to keep it pretty loose. So you're just going to set this down, a few spots on there. And then back to the trusty sponge to kind of press it all into the stuff. Now if you really look, you can still see the lace lines, but that stuff breaks it up enough to where it's not forward. You have to really be looking forward for it to notice it. And I don't know if the camera from there picks up the difference on the sides or not, but just up here I can see a pretty good size difference between them. So now I go through and do the other side. Pull some hair off. And I don't worry too much about here if that comes loose. I don't know if you noticed my temple came loose a little bit there. My glasses hold it down pretty well, so it's not the end of the world. Okay. All right, you gotta be careful not to get on your fingers because it starts making a mess if you do. All right, so you're gonna take your sponge, push all that stuff down. Pull off any big clumps that happened. And then I do a little bit right under my lip there. So now we've got all that, go through, make sure you don't have any fuzzy hairs that are gonna tickle you and bug you. Too bad. Okay. All right, so now is the mustache. 2 more. Now I cut these at kind of a odd angle. This and go up at an angle like that. All right, so you get that. And always got to make sure that you do your alcohol on your mustache because that area moves quite a bit. Pardon. All right, so now everybody's face moves a little bit different. I think this is how my face works. You have to figure out where your hot points are for moving and go that route. So this tape is kind of flexible whenever it's on, but I always leave a gap. Just a little bit long, but it'll be right. I always leave a gap right there. Some guys leave gaps over here and go all the way across. Some guys just go all the way across. I've found I get better movement by leaving a gap right there. Alright, so I'm gonna take that again. See how it's a mustache shape there. Alright, so you peel your backing off. Now, the key to getting your mustache right, whenever I was using glue especially, this always was a problem with me because I'd put it on like this, well then I'd smile and everything would be put on like this, so my smile would be like that because my lip would be so tight with the glue and the lace and all that stuff. So get a good smile and put your mustache on. And also, when you put your mustache on, don't put it all the way up in your nose. For one, the lace is uncomfortable right under your nose. But two, it looks more natural if it's a little bit lower. So smile whenever you put it on. Get it there. Take your lace or your sponge again. Tamp it down pretty good. Now I've got kind of, the lace has like a bubble almost right in the middle where it's like that, but it allows me to do all that much easier than if it was just a static mustache on there. So got all that. Now I don't use the glue-on eyebrows that came with my set. To me they're a little bit too unnatural looking. I like to toe the line between too whimsical and natural, but not too natural, not too whimsical. So I like it. You know, I get asked by adults every now and then, is that real or is that not real? So I use the ProFace eyebrow whitener stuff. You can find Leon's videos on how to apply that. Basically put it on there, brush your eyebrows up. One thing with this stuff, I recommend everybody get a thing of this, especially the younger guys that are Santa, especially if you have dark hair like I do, because even if you bleach and get perfect white, the biggest giveaway for a young Santa is your eyes, because guys with dark eyes and dark hair just are going to have younger looking eyes in general. So for one, the glasses help. You know, wear your glasses up like glasses, not down like readers. So they're going to help hide that a little bit. But just stick this under your eyelash and blink on it a couple times. And you don't have to like full on put mascara on there, but it does help age up your eyelashes a little bit, take some of that dark line away from your eyes. Like to brush my eyebrows up because it does give them a little bit of a bushier look. If your barber trims your eyebrows, have him stop doing that before the season starts. All right, so now we are done. Put your glasses on. Always remember your glasses go over the lace but under the hair. And you're good to go. If you're doing photo sessions, you can do makeup and stuff if you want to. I don't. So there we go. Have a good day.